Welcome back everyone. In this video I'm going to show you what happened in level 1 of the challenge. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been with me for a while, welcome back. In my last video I introduced you to the 20 pip challenge and I basically let you know that I was going to try and follow it for this year's Wimbledon. Well, in this video I'm going to show you the first trade, so I suppose you could call it the first level of the challenge. So be sure to stay to the end to see what happens and where that leaves me in the challenge. Okay, let's head on over to Betfair and see how it plays out. So as you can see, we've got this first round match at Wimbledon, in the first round of Wimbledon. You can see I've got a £20 balance, and in my last video where I introduced the challenge, and I also linked to the video that I first came across the challenge in, the idea behind the challenge is that we are risking 30% of our liability with each and every trade. And I have to confess, I've been preparing for this challenge for a few weeks actually, but having said that, it's been difficult with everything else that I've got going on to find the time to sit down and do everything that needed to be done. And as a result, it has meant that I haven't finished all of the analysis that I wanted to do before I began this challenge, and part of that analysis was to work out specifically how much I would need to stake at each level in order to be able to achieve the 1-to-1 ratio, which is what this challenge is all about. So the idea behind it is that with each trade you make the liability that you have risked. So you're going for the risk 1 to make 1 once all said and done. And as I said, given the fact that the tournament has started today, I've been a little bit naughty, and as I'm sure you can see from the screen, I haven't actually stuck to the 30%. What you can see on my screen here is I've tried to get matched at 1.38 with a stake of £50, which would actually mean a liability of £19. Now, let me just give you a little bit of an overview as to why I've chosen this particular match. So I know a few of you have been asking to see the graph, so I'm going to insert a picture of the graph here. And a lot of you have been asking to see how I do my pre-match research, so there will be a video on that coming up soon as I can get it out to you guys. But essentially I was looking for a match that basically said that the favourite was excuse me, that the favourite was too short, meaning that even though, so at the beginning of this match, Basilashvili, his starting odds were around about 1.36, around about that level. So I was looking for matches where the starting odds were actually lower than what they really should have been, meaning that the underdog was actually better than what their odds suggested. Now, for those of you who are used to tennis, have been, watching your tennis for the last 20 odd years, you may recognise the names of these players on the screen. For those of you who don't know, Lucas Rosol, he had a few years back, he had basically the match of his life, and he knocked out Roger Federer in the second round, I believe it was, something like that, of the Wimbledon of that particular year. So essentially he knows how to play on grass, and he is much better than what his starting odds were. So I had a really strong feeling that I was going to be able to get my 20-click movement in this trade, and so that's why I decided to try and get in on it. But as I said, I've been a little bit naughty in so much as I haven't used the £6 liability, which would have been 30%, of my £20 bank. What I've actually done is I've used 95% of my liability. Now, I know I introduced this to you as an extremely high risk strategy, and already you can see it is, because I've literally, with my very first trade, gone up to 95% of my liability. We'll talk a little bit more later on about that, but I think what I'm realizing from this particular strategy is that the main thing is to try and get your one-to-one with the 20 pips, and that means that in some instances you probably will need to stake more than your 30% or whatever percent it is you've decided to try the challenge with. If I had stuck to the 30% liability, meaning £6, in order for me to have made the £6, I think I would have needed to get something or another like 58 clicks. I think I would have needed to have gotten back to 1.88 or something to equal out the £6 regardless of whatever happens in the match, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get my one-to-one equaled out. I'm not trying to trade the whole match or anything. I'm literally trying to get my 20 pip movement, and within that 20 pip my exit trade is, the idea is the exit trade will equal out profit regardless of the outcome of the match. That's how I'm trying to do it. So anyways, enough of that. As you can see, the odds are teetering around 1.42. It still hasn't come down for me to get matched yet. I'm going to skip along a little bit. And here you go. You can see now I've gotten matched. So it's £19 liability to make £50, but of course we're not trying to do that. We're literally just trying to make the 1-to-1 ratio. Now I've made another little error here, because when I put the initial stake in, I didn't realise at the time that 95% of my £20 bank, which is effectively what this trade is, equals £9. So if we have a quick look here at the graph at the spreadsheet that I introduced you to in the previous video, you can see that we've started off with the starting balance, and had the risk been £30, 30%, sorry, just 1 second. Had the risk been 30%, my liability would have been £6, which means I should have been looking to make £6. So essentially what I'm saying is I didn't come back here to see that really 95% of the liability would have been £9, and that's what I would have been looking to make in this trade. So at this point I'm still expecting to make £6 from the trade, when really I should be looking to make £9. So we're going to let it skip forward, and essentially what I have done here is after I've gotten matched, I've then gone in and I'm just working out here the actual stake that I need to put in on the back to secure my £6 profit, as I've just mentioned, and you'll see me work that out in just a tick, that it's supposed to be £44 on the back, 20 ticks higher than what I laid, so 1.58 as you can see there, and the idea is that once that gets matched it will equal me out £6 either way. But as I've just explained, what I should have been looking to do was equal out £9 profit either way. So again, it's just a waiting game now. So previously, especially if you've been following my channel, you would have seen this in my trades. Previously, I had tinkered too much, and I had withdrawn some of my liability as the odds drifted out. That can work, but that does impact your overall profit and your overall success rate. I think the thing with this challenge is it helps to add structure to your trading. It helps you to have predefined reasons to enter the trade. And I'm really hopeful, I mean I know it's only day one and trade one, but I'm really hopeful that having a structure like this, even though as you can clearly see I haven't stuck to it in my very first trade, having a structure in terms of knowing specifically what you're looking to do, I think that really will have a positive impact on trading overall. So anyways, we'll see how that progresses. If you're liking the video and if you're getting some value out of this, please do hit the like button. Let me know that it's making a difference to you in your trading journey. So as we can see, we still haven't gotten matched. It's literally just sitting there unmatched. But I am going to just scoot forward a little bit because I want you to see that even though we're still very early on in the first set, the idea here is, as I'm sure you guys know, if both players maintain their service games, the odds will drift. The odds will drift because you're getting nearer and nearer to a tie-break in theory, and tie-breaks are lotteries. Anything can happen in a tie-break. So if you know the basic principles of how the odds move throughout the game, set and overall match, all you really need to do is position yourself within the direction of the odds, within the direction of the movement of the odds. That's how I see it, and that's the objective here. So we can see that the odds are starting to drift out slowly. It's taken a little bit of time, but eventually, as you'll see now, the odds are starting to hit 1.45s. So I'm reading this in real life as confirmation that I have chosen the correct match, I have gotten in at the correct time, and I am doing the right thing in just letting it play out, because as I said, if both players continue to hold their serve, the odds will naturally drift out. Bearing in mind, I'm also only looking for 20 clicks. It is much more likely to get 20 clicks than it is to get 40 or 50. So I've got a lot of things in my favour here for trying, to sort of have a high probability of making a successful trade. I think just from reviewing this now as I'm making this video for you, it just highlights to me that a lot of attention needs to be paid to the stake plan, to ensure that you can get your 1-to-1 ratio within the 20 pips. So anyways, that's enough of that. As you can see, we're drifting out. We're now at 1.52. Within the next few moments, as I'm sure you've guessed, this is going to get matched, and it will, because I have put in the correct stake amount. It will equal out the £6 either way. As I said, just to recap, what I should have been looking for was £9 on this trade, and it is going to mean that I'm technically now £3 behind my schedule. But that being said, I'm not overly worried about that. The most important thing with all of these levels, I think, is, as Mark Douglas says, put it in the comments box below if you know who Mark Douglas is, protect your liability at all costs. So that's the overall, so the underlying objective, I should say, that's the underlying objective. And as you can see, it's just gotten matched and equaled out £6 either way. So let me know in the comments box below what you think of this video. I will be looking ahead now to trade number 2, and just to give you a quick overview of the spreadsheet, which, as I've mentioned before, is a work in progress. I can now see that even though I didn't get my profit goal of £39, well, actually that's not right, it should be £29. Let's pop that in there. I can go back to the 30% for my next level, which I will do. So ideally, I should be looking to make £7.80 from my next trade. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss an update for the next video coming out, where I'm going to attempt to make £7.80 in my next trade. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.